And full price doesn't mean finished anymore. And that's really crazy to me. You buy the game, you download it, then a day one patch, then another patch, known bugs, performance problems, missing features, servers melting, and then you get those magical words, roadmap coming soon. Then 6 months later, somebody tells you, bro, you gotta come back. It's actually really good now. That's great. But why the hell wasn't it really good when they took my $70? Because look at Cyberpunk 2077. That game launched in such a problematic state on consoles that Sony literally removed it from PlayStation Store and offered refunds. And before somebody jumps in the comments, yes, Cyberpunk is way better now. But that's not my point. The fact that they eventually fixed the game doesn't erase what people bought at launch. Actually, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We've gotten to this weird point in gaming where a game can be released busted, spend the next year or two getting fixed, and then everybody celebrates the comeback. And yeah, I'll give the developers credit for turning it around. They deserve that. But why are we forgetting that customers already paid for the fucking game? And this probably wouldn't bother me nearly as much if cheaper games weren't constantly exposing how ridiculous this whole thing has gotten. I mean, look at Helldivers 2. $40. And that game became one of those games everybody was talking about. Was it perfect? No. It had server problems, it had bugs, it had issues. I mean, even Expedition 33 was widely praised for having AAA level visual quality. It was polished and lower at $50 launch price. But that's actually part of my point. They weren't standing there asking me for $70 just because apparently that's what a real game costs now. And you know what's funny? I actually have less of a problem with something like Duckside or Path of Exile 2 or Off the Grid or even the 7 Days console edition. Why? Because it literally tells you, hey, this is early access. You're telling me up front that this shit isn't finished. Cool. Now I know what I'm buying. My problem is when you charge me AAA finished game money and then give me the early access experience. So why does this keep happening? And I don't even necessarily blame the dude sitting at the computer programming the fucking thing. That guy probably knows the game isn't ready. I'm talking about whoever makes the decision to say, fuck it, ship it, we'll patch it later. Because maybe I'm getting old, man, but I remember buying the game and that was just the game. You put the disc in, you played it. There wasn't a 40 gigabyte apology waiting for you when you got home. And don't get me wrong, patches are awesome. I'm glad developers can fix bugs. I'm glad games can improve after release. But somewhere along the way, patches went from being a safety net to feeling like they became part of the fucking development schedule. And I don't want cheaper games just for the sake of games being cheaper. I'll gladly pay $70 for a game that's worth $70. That's not the problem. The problem is charging me a premium price while expecting the people who supported your game day one to wait 3 months for the premium experience. Because when a $20 indie game could give me 50 hours of fun, and your $70 game needs 6 patches before it stops fucking crashing, at some point I gotta ask, what the fuck am I actually paying for? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe this is just gaming now. But let me know what you guys think. Should a game be allowed to charge full price if it clearly isn't finished at launch?